Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Liz. I'm with Tyrant Dominus, aka Jesus. And if it's the first time listening, please subscribe and listen to us. If not, we're not making you, but we would really appreciate it. How you doing, Jesus?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. It sounds like I'm doing a little better than you are at the moment.
Yes.
So if anyone's listening, if you're just purely listening to this right now, you'll be hearing some noise in the background because Luke has some fun carpentry. So,
upstairs. It's not my unit. Well, not me personally. It's my new neighbor who's moving upstairs next week. So,
and it was fortunate enough that it's literally above her during the recording.
Yeah, literally. I knew it was going to happen today. I just didn't know when.
So, to all our listeners, I hope I was able to clean up the audio to the best. I might hear some background noise, but you know, we do our best. But how have you been?
Tired. I'm exhausted, and then I'm crying already inside internally that this is my last full weekend off before I just deadhead it all the way up to the day. My magical, wonderful day that I'll be incapacitated for a brief moment that's where we talked about, guys. We forewarned you. This is coming. It's coming.
Yes, and that full bonus episode is going to be out. The week Liz is basically out. We have some planned stuff for afterwards, but yeah, look forward to that. You'll hear full information about that. But yeah, it sounds like it's just been constant. This is the third week that you've mentioned you've been tired.
Yeah, just been exhausted. My sister was visiting, so like we were up late and then up early because I had either appointments or we had things to do or work or it was like it was like not winning at all.
No rest for
so
the
much
weary.
Shit is happening. I know, right? So this weekend is like I really got to get things done this weekend because this is my last full weekend off, and I was like, my kids got to get back to school shopping done, and
oh my god, I completely forgot about back to school stuff.
Yeah, well, it's that time, and I'm like, I can't do it next weekend, and I can't do it the next weekend after that. So
it has to be this weekend.
It has to be this weekend.
The good thing, you know what? I there's one thing I do like about back to school stuff. The time of that, it's like the little bit afterwards when things go on sale because surplus, and I go buy stuff like pens, crayon boxes, just because I like using them as storage units. As some people can probably notice, if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, I still have some not trash, but it's still a little bit disorganized in the room, but it'll be cleaned up soon. But I was able to get one more poster up and some things up and running. Little by little, this room's coming together. It's just I like yourself.
Slowly but surely.
But yeah, like yourself, I've not been hyper busy. It's just more menial tasks here and there. Just little things that just seem to either boil over, or when you're about to do them, is like, oh, you don't have to do it anymore. Wasted prepping. But yeah, we'll see how things go. Seems you're more busier than normal. And
I know. I'm deadheading. I'm just like, and my psychologist was like, hey, what do you mean? Like, have you heard that term before? And I'm like, I don't know, but I've always used it every once in a while. I'm deadheading it right into it. The day of change.
Not a single fuck was given this day.
This is crazy. So, I mean, we're going up to 100-degree weather days, too. This shall be an interesting week.
Yeah, we've been,
to say the least.
Once again, with our weather talk, we are like the daily radio show. And today, weather is... And yeah, we've been, at least in our area, we've been very fortunate. weather, I would say, like in the mid 80s, which has been nice, comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable.
But yeah, we ourselves are about to get hit with the spike of heat, so it's like it's gonna be thrilling. But
yeah, my mom's like, you shouldn't be biking to work. I'm like, nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It won't kill me for 20 minutes out in the sun on my way home.
Just get yourself one of those tiny fans to blow air on you.
With the mist. It'll be warm, hey.
Oh, with the mist. You gotta get the mist version.
Oh, maybe I'll get the mist. But I mean, like, it's 20 minutes. I'm like, I can survive 20 minutes. It's not gonna kill anybody.
All right. You don't want to be literally burnt red when you get to work. Like, what happened?
Oh no, that's on the way. I don't think it's gonna be super 80-degree weather day, like in the 8:00 in the morning. I'm like, maybe 70. Yeah. Be like 70, maybe.
Mornings are usually cold. Like today is nice and fresh. It was so nice to be out this morning, like refreshing. But yeah, that's kind of our days. Like I said, everyone, we're gonna try to get you guys some more stuff as we move along. We're getting prepped and ready. As far as the show is concerned, and yeah, some crazy stuff, some fun stuff. Look forward to it. But as always, if you want to help support us, you can go to merch.tyrantdominus.com to pick up some merch to support us. There's always some fun shirts. It helps us to cover some of the things we have to deal with the show, and some of the new projects we are working to provide for you. If you're listening to us now, because we have now been partnered up, not official, like we're part of the partner program through TikTok now. So if you found us through TikTok, welcome. Because yeah, now you're able to listen to the podcast on TikTok. I don't know if you've.
Yeah, I heard you were telling me that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like interesting. I'm like, okay, so I tried it. So hopefully, if you're listening to this episode, this would be I don't know how it works fully, but this is going to be officially the second episode on TikTok. So yeah, I'm trying to figure that side of things out too. But yeah, if you want to support us other ways, you can subscribe through Spotify to get bonus episodes, and that's where you get all your fun extra content. And we might be switching over to Patreon, because Spotify partnered up with Patreon now to be able to do.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just announced it the day before. So as far as the recording of this episode. And they've always had a very streamlined way to have supporters and creators provide their content. We might look into that a little bit more if it's a little bit more simpler for people. But that's something for the future. We'll see how that goes. But as always, like I said, if you don't want to pay for anything, you can always support us by listening, following on any of the podcasting listen platforms, or subscribing on YouTube. Or you can tell people about the show by word of mouth. Word of mouth is one of the best ways to share the show, let people know about it, and it helps us out a ton. Isn't that right, Liz?
Exactly. It does. It definitely helps us.
All right, Liz, start us out. You wanted to start with some kookiness.
Some lightheartedness. I just thought it was very genuine. We all need some self-care, right? Yes, we all need to take ourselves on some dates. This one's amazing, however. Toddler 3 sneaks out of the crib and takes himself on a solo date to McDonald's. TikTokers are loving a story about a toddler who just took himself on a field trip to McDonald's. In a now viral video, Marissa Pfeffer, who is a mom of 3-year-old twins, Aiden and Elia, shares a story about a family nap that took a scary turn. I was sleeping on the floor right next to the crib, Piper 23 tells today.com. What could go wrong? Turns out a lot. When Viper woke up, Aiden was gone, and so were his shoes. Not in the house. He was not in the basement. He was not in the front yard or the backyard. Viper takes in her TikTok clip. At this point, she's starting to panic. Where could Aiden be? With shaking hands, Piper called 911 to report a missing child. I really started to get nervous when he wasn't in our neighbor's yard. I thought it's where I'd find him. There were a bunch of rocks. He likes to line them up and play with them, Piper shares. Piper says that the police arrived in 2 seconds and showed her a photograph. She exhaled. It was Aiden. He was safe and sound at McDonald's across the street from the Wisconsin home.
Oh, it's literally across the street. Okay.
That's awesome. I don't know how he got across, but that's amazing. According to Piper, a Good Samaritan alerted authorities to a child who was wandering by himself. Though the restaurant was only 0.4 miles from Piper's residence, she drove there with her Aiden's sister. and he goes, "Hi, Mom." Piper was too relieved to be angry. When Piper asked Aiden why did he did it, she says the little boy was like, "I was hungry. I almost bought him a Happy Meal, but I was embarrassed." She says, "I just wanted to get that out of there." And is a big fan of McDonald's and will wake up from a deep slumber when his mom pulls up to a drive-through window. He can just sense where they are.
Okay, so we get the gist of this.
Yeah, so, that's awesome.
That's funny. It's scary as hell for sure.
Oh yeah, we all need to take our self-care and take care of ourselves. We're hungry. We're gonna go feed ourselves, right?
Yeah, you just like, I'm like, Mom, you're not feeding me. I'm leaving. I am going across the street to grab food.
Bruh.
But yeah, so that's humorous. Like how fortunate they are to have a McDonald's across the street. God damn, I wish.
Like, I wouldn't want McDonald's across the street.
I would just want some more casual food around in my area because I have to like drive to the next town over.
The next town over helps too. I showed your sisters a couple.
but yeah, it is scary for a 3-year-old. Because I'm trying to picture it in my head. Conceptually, because sometimes when you try to picture an age nowadays, depending if you do have a child or not, is a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, and my nephew's just about 3 years old. So yeah, I can conceptually like he could get around because sometimes like are they able to get around? I'm like yes, they can, and they could sneak away. Because we still have to lock our doors to make sure he doesn't sneak out to play with in the streets with the other kids because he just wants to go play and we get it, but not when there's no like supervision around. Like we live in a quiet enough neighborhood and we don't get that many cars, but it's better safe than sorry, you know.
Yeah, I know my my older sister had to go through that with her oldest. He figured out how to open the doors at about 3 years old and started running around everywhere. So they started like definitely doing parental locks on there. So that was fun. And then he figured those out too.
Oh, well, we fortunately have a deadlock right on top of our thing, so he can't really do much unless he like stacks 2 chairs.
I know.
Apart.
Well, yeah, but he figured out how to move a chair to unlock it, or like a stool or something to unlock it. So they actually had to put like a actual latch across the top or higher end of it above that, so they couldn't get to it.
Anyways, yeah, it is scary, definitely. So I'm so happy that they were able to find this child immediately. Yeah. Within what was the time span? Like an hour?
Probably
an hour or 2. But yeah, McDonald's probably called like, "Hey, there's a lost child here." Like we don't want to deal with this child. Like someone else deal with it.
We're gonna feed him though. I hope McDonald's fed him.
Oh well, hopefully if it was a very short period of time, maybe the kid ended up playing in the ball pit, the nastiest thing you can ever go into.
I know.
Thinking about it, like, that's the worst thing is thinking about it now. How gross it is now compared when you were a kid.
I know. Oh, I still think it was hella gross.
Did you really? I was like, I wanted.
Yeah, I had apparently I went behind a slide.
Oh no!
Did you? Diarrhea.
Oh, you had the diarrhea.
You know, I found a dirty diaper in there. Maybe a handful of times.
As a child,
I'm like, I'm still so turned off by it, even as a kid now.
Wow. I didn't hear.
And I'm like, I told my daughter, no, you're not playing any of those things. That's so gross.
Because yeah, like conceptually, you should be able to like, okay, the employees need to be able to disinfect and clean those things up like every day. But do they?
They can't.
No, that's a lot of work. And for a minimum paid job, like I don't blame them. And then you would have to like soak all the balls in like disinfected every day. Like no one's gonna do that.
I wish there was a way you could like shoot them into like a vacuum that would suck them in, put them through that, and then like run them through.
What I would the way I could see it is like do a since it's a pit, right? It's like a pool basically. Just like either fill it with like disinfectant fluid or suck up all the balls into like a bag soaked in disinfectant, clean them up like through there, dry them out, clean the pool out, and then fill the balls back up like a pool. But like I said, that seems like a lot more work than needed for minimum wage employees. I don't blame.
Yep.
But damn, that sucks that you were part of the.
Somebody could do that for like obviously tell McDonald's, hey, we'll do this for you every night.
Oh my god, I don't want any more of that. Like they have so many issues with the ice cream machine fiasco.
I know.
Oh my god,
I know, but it'd be like somebody lucratively, if they thought this through, they probably could make some hella bank from McDonald's.
They
Just
could, but
saying.
McDonald's does not want to spend that money. That's the other thing.
Oh, come on.
They don't care. Kids don't care if they want to go into nasty things. They just want to go play. Unless they're traumatized like you.
Diarrhea.
Emotional damage.
But yeah, so a good thing everyone was found. Let's jump into one more smaller story before we jump into the bigger one. Let's talk about this because I think we were talking about this the other day about airlines. So,
Okay.
do you know what skip lagging is? I think we talked slightly about this.
That doesn't seem to ring a bell. I've been very discombobulated lately.
Okay. So whether you call it skip lagging or hidden city traveling, it's contagious. Booking a flight with a layover in a city that is the real destination for the traveler can net big bargains, but airlines prohibit the practice. Basically, you buy an airline with a layover, and instead of going on the flight afterwards, you just stay in the layover place just because it's cheaper. So, on the last day of
I can't
June,
even see the article. No.
it's fine. I'll read it a little bit. On the last day of June, American Airlines agents at Gainesville Regional Airport in Florida canceled a North Carolina teenager's flight after realizing they had used a booking tactic called skip lagging or hidden city traveling. I like skip lagging. Forbidden by airlines, but used by some travelers to net flight bargains. The teen's father, Hunter Parsons, said that it was his 17-year-old's first time flying on a company, and that both the timing and the price of the booking was appealing. For $150, his son was flying from Gainesville to Charlotte, but not continuing his second flight to New York. At a cost of saving roughly $300. If the family had simply purchased a direct flight to Charlotte, the Parsons sons did not even make it past the check-in counter, where the airline agent questions why the teen would fly to New York when his layover was in his hometown of Charlotte. He was forced to pay the direct flight, so he basically ended up paying. So it was $450 instead of the $150. Skip lagging is buying a ticket for a connecting flight with a layover in the city that is a real destination for the traveler. Flyers disembarked after the first leg and simply failed to board the second. Often the fare is cheaper than they actually bought a direct flight to their desired destination. At least 2 websites now help unearth these deals for customers. There are now websites out there to find people like, oh yeah, you want to find a ticket. Right now, like we always say, this economy is really garbage right now. So trying to find any method to save money, I don't doubt you. Like, save where you can. This is the time. And it's now when companies like, I see what you're
making
doing.
money. They're making billions. And they're not even giving it back off to their employees. Like, come on. We can screw them over.
Exactly. Because at this point, why are you then charging a layover flight when the direct flight is like, why shouldn't you just give the direct flight the same price as the layover, right?
Exactly.
That's where it gets sketchy. Like, why are you doing this? I
agree 100% on that. I think it's crazy because it's so expensive these days, and flights are only getting worse because of gas prices and all that jazz. So, like, hello.
Yeah, like, think about it. He to fly home. Instead of we'll use the scenario with the kid. He paid double and a half to go home, basically. So they just like, what a waste of money for you try to go home. Okay, let's continue here. Though it is not illegal, the practice is strictly prohibited by airlines in their contracts of carriage. There you go. That's how they get you the terms of services. At the carriers have shown an eccentric but heavy hand in administering punishment for those caught, eliminating a skip lagger's frequent flyer miles in an instance and suing a passenger to another. So basically they are like, you can't do that. you're failing the terms of service of the ticket you purchased. Like, that is, it's not illegal, but you're like, yeah, it's not illegal, but you're failing these terms.
Yeah, but you know how many people are waiting to get on these flights to jump seat to get to wherever they're going?
Because
because they overbook a lot of these flights, okay? And then you have these people who are trying to get to that place, right?
I think that's what we were talking about before. I think that's what we were talking about.
Think about how many people are waiting for those extra seats to accidentally open up. And I bet you 10 to 1, they're still making their bank on the money for that person who skip lagged to go to that next destination.
All right, let's see here.
Just saying.
Experts say that travelers have flown this way for decades, and this is detecting improper use of connections is tricky, making enforcement of a challenge for airlines. Here's what you need to know about the open secret of flying. I didn't know about this, but the way we fly, because I imagine, like, for skip lagging, you would really have to be flying very, very light, because baggage goes into the bottom, and that goes to whatever the.
It depends on which airline you take. Just remember that.
Exactly. But for the most part, if you're skip lagging, you probably have to just carry on and go from there. And you can do a good chunk with carry on. But let's see here. How does it work? So this is what people know. If you didn't know this is a real thing, this is a thing, but you might not even get a chance to do it. Okay, airline tickets cost are determined by the many factors, such as energy prices, the passengers' demand for a certain route, and competition from other airlines. We know this. Yes, we do know this. They aren't merely a reflection of the travel distance. For travelers, that means that this can occasionally be more affordable to book a flight with a layover along more competitive routes and get off there rather than booking non-stop flight to the desired destination. So basically, it's like, I'm going to fly to Seattle, and I found a cheaper thing because I could get a ticket that's going to Alaska. It'll just save me, if it's saving me $500, I'm taking the connections, right?
Oh, yeah. When I was looking at flights at one point, it's like, I can save $100 or $200 if I take this airline compared to that person, and it's more of a direct flight. Obviously, I'm going to go do that. I don't stop. I just go nonstop. Oh, perfect. I'll save $200 and direct stop.
And vice versa. If you can find a site that you can skip lag, why not, right? If you're saving a chunk of money. I have
it's so expensive to fly. Even it didn't matter. Like, yeah, it's just crazy.
So here, for instance, here they give another example here. For instance, a traveler in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, wants to fly to San Francisco. A recent search turned up the flight from Fort Lauderdale to Portland, Oregon, with a stop in San Francisco was $124. That's pretty cheap. And a nonstop flight from Fort Lauderdale to San Francisco was $220. So basically, you're saving $100 just flying to Portland, technically, but there was the layover was in San Francisco. Skip lagged. Here we're not endorsing these, but these are the two websites that you can use. It's called Skip Lagged and Kiwi. They're search sites that you can use to skip lag. Apparently, it is requires staying undetected. But it is required staying undetected. You can't check a bag or link a frequent flyer's account to collect the mileage. For saving hundreds of dollars, I don't mind not getting the miles times, Oh
yeah, no kidding.
And travelers who show patterns flying the same routes repeatedly and missing the last leg of the flight are more likely to be caught. That makes sense. They're tracking you. They're always tracking. Everything's always tracking you. Why is it gaining popularity? Because we're broke. That's a simple answer.
Exactly. We don't make enough to compensate. I mean, I'm losing technicians to bigger and better wages. Come on.
So yeah, I'm not even gonna read this because we know the answer. It's just expensive. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that part because we know the truth. And I kind of skimmed through it. Yeah, we're just gonna be repeating that. But here are the risks. So what are they saying are the risks? Upon purchasing a ticket, traveler agreed to the contract of carriage with an airline. So basically their terms of service, right? Which is a set of rules passengers agree to comply with. These covers everything from how the carrier will handle oversold flights to the requirements regarding passengers' clothing and behavior. Have you ever actually read the terms of service of any flight you've ever signed up for? Do you ever read any terms of service? That's my real question. No, no one does.
Do you? Do
No.
you?
Bruh.
No.
No, I didn't think so.
Because, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like you know, you just... Anyways, these terms and conditions are often explicit and forbid hidden city ticket and lay out raft of consequences such as travelers circumventing the rules. Okay, so here's one. United Airlines reserves the right to permanently ban travelers who don't complete their trip. So you might just lose your chance to ever fly United. They also say that they can revoke status and wipe accrued mileage. Well, if you're banned, it doesn't matter at that point. Alaska Airlines mentions that it can take legal action that violate their policies. So yeah, it can get really interesting there. American says that it's fine print. Fine print. I love that. It's always fine print. You gotta get. This is why I have my magnifying glass. The fine. Let's see.
Do you actually read it though?
No. Actually, you know what? We should just start pulling. You know what, audience member? We'll start reading out fine prints of everything, so you can just listen to us say it. But you don't have to read it. We'll read it for you.
Just let us know which ones you really want us to read.
And we'll sit down and just read them out for you and add it to our bonus episodes. You pay us to read it for you.
We only charge a sweet $5 a month for it.
God, imagine reading the Apple one. It's like, I think it's like 32 pages. It's 32 pages, I think.
I'm sorry. This is gonna just sideline just real quick. We have like a article that we have to read for dispense prep, which is like basically scanning the product and acknowledging that this is the item that the patient's getting and it corresponds to what they're supposed to be getting. There was like a 64 page, I think. It's be like that all over again.
Imagine if would you have have someone read that to you as you were just looking through it?
I probably would, because it's 64 damn pages. Like,
I'm a big fan of audiobooks, but you know, I'm a bigger fan of having the book read to me while I have the book on me. Because I don't know, I feel that just transition a little bit better. I think it's just like old feeling of school where someone's like you're chosen, like you read this pages and you just follow along.
I know, that's what I like too.
Well, yeah, if you guys want that, we can do that for you guys at a cost.
At a cost, yeah.
Let's see here. We should just call those episodes fine print.
Fine print, Apple.
Apple.
Alaska.
You know what's funny? It's like we have to Apple the month and the year because they always release new ones. So we have constant content.
You would always have content.
Oh god. Anyways, let us know.
We have to do it the day it comes out too, so like it'll be on top of it.
Yeah, let us know, guys, if that's what you guys want. We'll think about actually doing it. It'll be funny as fuck. Anyways, okay, here. Kurt Blessing, a spokesman for American, called this type of traveling all around bad outcome. That's because it could cause issues with checked bags and also prevent other customers who might have urgent travel needs from booking seats. I get it, but like you said earlier, there's places that just overbook, and when the person's not there, there's a free seat. Airlines most likely take an aim on the outlined providers in the past years, filing a handful of lawsuits against Skiplight and Kiwi. Earlier this summer, American sued Kiwis in federal court in Texas, claiming that the rogue online travel agent had repeatedly engaged in abusive ticket practices. These are quotes, including booking hidden city fares for its customers, according to court documents. Because yeah, it's been a while. Because I remember back in the day when you would have to fly, you would have to get a travel agent to book everything for you. I remember that was the thing. You would go to.
That was in like the 80s, I believe.
80s, 90s, yeah. You would go to a person.
Mid-90s.
Yeah, you would go to a person. They would get your tickets all sorted for you and everything. But now everything's done online. But there's still sometimes a third-party sites that do it for you too. But let's see here. So So far, legitimacy has been unsuccessful in blocking these travel hacks. One lawsuit filed in 2014 by the United against Skiplag was dismissed, while in 2021, Southwest Airlines sued Skiplag for using the carrier's data. Let's see here. Skiplag argued that they were not the ones actually distributing Southwest tickets. They showed flights, but direct users to the other websites for booking. Both parties later agreed to drop the lawsuit. So they're not doing anything bad. They're like, they're just saying, here are the options. Do what you want with the information. I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with that.
They're just showing you the information. I mean, they literally. So, what difference does it make, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, what is it? In 2018, Lufthansa. Oh my God, I can't pronounce that. Sued a passenger.
I wish I could see the article. I could help.
It's like Lufthansa. I think it's another airline. It's a European one. Sued a passenger who booked a round trip from Oslo to Seattle, but then stayed in Frankfurt, the flight's layover city. The airline later dropped the lawsuit. Okay, so there's a lot. There's a lot of instances where things were happening where you can get, but it's kind of hard when it's like there's no real. They're saying, like they stated earlier in the article, it's not illegal. You're just you're skirting their terms of services, right? And I get it. It sucks for the airlines, but you know what? I don't care because it's helping the consumer. That's where
the consumer pays a lot of money. I mean, why should we literally? You can't. It's like you can't even get to a. If you had to get to like a funeral, how expensive it is, or something like I mean, like my my mother's sick, or my father is sick, or my grandparents are sick. We need to go and travel real quick. This is the way to do it because we're getting screwed. But otherwise, if you do it any other airline, if you do direct flight, well, that day there can be thousands of dollars. Not a lot of us have like $1,000 rolling around. If you guys want to start paying us and we could be able to afford those $500 plus tickets to get from A to B, it'd be great. Just saying, guys.
So yeah, that's kind of, there's more to the article, but I think that's the gist of it. I get it. It sucks for them, but we suffered enough during this time of the economy. We want to travel too. People want to travel. People want to enjoy. The summer has been good, and for the most part, in most places, minus some temperatures and here and there. But it's been a reasonably good summer for most areas. And sometimes people want to be out now. COVID's done for the most part. It's still out there, but it's not. And it's done for the most part. But people don't care now. People just want to be out and enjoy themselves. We were stuck indoors for 2 years. People just want to have fun. There's been concerts and things like that, outings. We've seen it. We've talked about it. We'll be talking more about it in a moment about gatherings and stuff. But it's just people want to be out. People want to travel, do stuff. And if you can save a little bit of money, why not, right? Mm-hmm. Because right now it's not the best of times. Any other moments for you to talk or anything?
I think I've said my piece.
All right. Let's talk about the more recent news first, because that's the most things, because it's been happening. We've been getting updated news. This was brought to my attention earlier. So this is about the Maui fires.
Mm-hmm.
So what to know about the fires? So these are kind of some key points here. Here, I'll let you read that section.
Officials have confirmed 80 deaths in the wildfires, but Maui County Mayor Richard Mason warned the death toll could go up. The inhalation of dust and other airborne particles unleashed by the highly toxic burning areas could be a health hazard, Maui County officials warned. 6 fires are burning in Maui and the Big Island, but officials said the tiny fire is now 85% contained. Many of the town's historic landmarks are lost. Hawaii Governor Josh Green said the fires are likely to be the largest natural disaster in the state history. And NBC News' Miguel Almaguer Dana Griffin and Steve Patterson are reporting from Maui.
Okay, so there's some big fires happening right now in Hawaii. And from the sounds of it, it's some of the biggest they've ever had, and it is the harder thing. It's an island. Like you're just stuck there.
There's nowhere to go except to the other islands, and if the other islands are on fire too, that sucks too.
So yeah, I'm looking at some of the damages right now since it's mostly contained.
Yeah, but it's still
pretty bad.
It is so sad how somebody could, saw like beautiful pictures 1 minute and the next minute gone. Just absolutely devastating. Like, that's heartbreaking. Like, it sucks. They're gonna have to really rebuild a lot of these towns up from the ground up, and of course, it's not cheap to live in Hawaii. So,
no,
damn.
Talk about it. Let's see.
$5.52 billion to rebuild. Oh, I called that right.
Okay, let's see if I can play this news article really quick, or this news statement. Here.
A town rich with Hawaiian history has been tragically reduced to ashes. As of this morning, some of the most horrific wildfires continue to tear through both western and southern regions of Maui. The death toll has now climbed to 80 people, making this blaze one of the deadliest ever in United States history. And sadly, officials expect that number to continue to rise.
I think that's what we're talking
so
about.
So far, the active Lanai fire and a second fire in Kaanapali have burned down many of the town's historic landmarks.
Okay, yes.
Right now, search and rescue efforts continue as an estimate of more than 1,000 people remain missing. NBC News correspondent Dana Griffin is there for us live.
So currently 1,000 people are missing. Okay. There's a reporter in the area. Let's see what she has to say, everyone.
Live in Maui. Dana, what is the latest on search and rescue efforts over there?
Katie, good morning. It's about 2 a.m. local time here in Maui. Right now, our rescue crews are probably sleeping, getting ready for first light to go back out. They brought in cadaver dogs and search and rescue teams from Arizona and Nevada. They're doing a grid search so that they're going feet by feet to make sure they're not missing anyone who may be unaccounted for.
We've
heard several
reports
of people being found dead in the streets and the water.
It's sad, but they used a lot of them, especially during 9/11. They used a lot of cadaver dogs to find locations.
Yeah, you're right. It's sad, but
true.
That's kind of cool though. The specialized dogs for that. When you need them, you need them.
Mm-hmm. They have noses better than ours. I mean, trying to find bodies. I mean, cadaver dogs have been used for years now. I mean, they use in helping locating people who have been missing.
It's more. I don't think I've ever heard that term.
A homicide.
All right.
In their cars and even inside their homes. There's a desperate search for people who have been unaccounted for
in Hawaii.
These families.
The people who have family there. Really sad. It's heartbreaking. And it's a beautiful island. It's sad that they lost a couple of landmarks in the process too.
Let's see if there are any more
who have been trying to reach their loved ones. So it is very tough for people who have not heard from loved ones for several days. Cell service is still compromised in that area. There are some people that have stayed behind, but most of those people have been able to get in touch with their relatives. But as you mentioned, Lahaina, the historic town, which may be known best for its tourism industry, but for the locals there, it's much more than that. There are several historical landmarks and artifacts that are now gone. And it's just a very devastating situation as that search and rescue will continue.
So yeah, it's very devastating. We talked about this, I think, during the Oregon fires and the Canadian fires. Any time there is like these huge kind of quote natural disasters, that take chunks of land. It's devastating, definitely. It can take. It takes a lot of funding. It takes a lot of emotional toll. It takes a lot of it takes a lot. And and it's been, how long has it been happening? I didn't catch when the fire started. Does it say?
I didn't quite catch that either.
August 12th, Miami announced that because of the new fire. Scroll.
You know, I have to scroll to.
Find. Need one. Date. Give us one.
I believe it happened all yesterday, if not the day before.
August 11th?
No, August 10th, I thought it was something like that.
I think it's gauging the 10th then, on the 10th. So it's been 3 days as of today, which is a lot, no matter what. It's like 1 day is a lot. And more so multiple days in a small circulated area. So our hearts to all the people out there. I know we have my future brother-in-law has some family in the area, so hearts to them, because that's all we can really do at the moment. And but yeah, because it's devastating, definitely, because we fortunately were almost in that point too ourselves in our area. We were luckily able to steer clear from that. We still saw the red hell flames in the sky for like a couple days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But at the end, it's like it's hard. It's hard when you're.
It's definitely hard.
So, we'll keep an eye out for that. But it's sad. Mostly, if like they were saying, it's devastating. Because it's for the economy. On top of that, that's the other continuing on. It's like it's gonna hurt the economy. It's one of, as far as the news mentioned, it was one of the more touristy areas, and for the locals is more of the historical areas, so it's losing a double whammy basically, which sucks.
Oh, edge sword, right?
So it's gonna we'll see how they endure, because you know at the end of the day some people can come out from there. And for the families who are still trying to get in contact, I hope they are able to, because of them losing the cell service in the area and stuff like that. Because you forget, sometimes people forget, like if like we are so connected so much that if you lose just that little bit for a good amount of time, you're lost. Anything else you want to talk about specific about that?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Liz, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to New York or do you want to go to Alabama?
Let's go to Alabama.
Okay. So let's start with the NBC, and then we'll scroll down, watch a video.
Okay. You want me to do it? Or
yeah, I have to pull it. So you can start.
Witnesses recount a brawl on the Montgomery riverfront. A pair of witnesses say the melee began when a group of boaters refused to move the pontoon and attacked a dock worker in Alabama's capital. Wow. The large brawl that broke out on the Alabama riverfront on Saturday was fueled by alcohol and adrenaline. Bystanders said the incident began when a worker tried to clear the dock along the Alabama River so the Harriet II riverboat could dock. A group of rowdy boaters refused to move the pontoon and attacked the dock worker when he untied the boat to make way for the Harriet II. They just didn't think the rules applied to them. It was so avoidable. This never had to happen, said a witness, said Leslie Mahorter, 52, who was aboard the Harriet II, and is in an interview. Video of the incident shows a group of what appeared to be white men running to the boardwalk one by one and attacking the worker, who is black. Wow.
So yeah, this is where
just gets worse and worse every time you read into this.
So yeah, so this is now it comes. The original concept is just a couple of inconsiderate individuals who are not following the policies of the dock area, to then becoming basically a attack on race and stuff like that. Because yeah, it gets wild and wild. Have you seen any of the videos?
I didn't even know this happened, to tell you the truth. I think Maui overtook my shadow of my stuff.
So yeah, it's definitely crazy. So here we go. We're gonna watch a video together. Give us a second, everyone.
Something unimaginable happened in Montgomery, Alabama. Obviously, this is a town with a civil rights museum that is not so distant from the area where this fight broke out. For those of you who don't know, a brawl took place at the Riverfront Park in Montgomery, Alabama. Reportedly, a group of white men attacked a black dock worker after he asked them to move their boat because there was another much larger riverboat with hundreds of people in it coming into the dock. But
that's the basis of the original story. So that's how it started. I like if you have there's a video you could watch. It's 5 minutes long, but we'll get this perspective because it's just condensed a little bit more. But yeah, that's the original story, right? For that we're listening to. Why is it not playing?
But these group of white men in their pontoon chose not to move their boat. And their response was unhinged and insane. Their response was to directly the dock worker, the black dock worker. Then all hell broke loose in a crazy way where there was definitely violent retribution. You rarely ever see this kind of thing. So it was kind of cool. Because it's one of those instances where it's like a crazy circumstance that explodes in a way that you only see in movies, basically. It was a gang of white thugs. No need to sugarcoat it. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy that happen here.
Yeah, that's basically what you could say. It's just a bunch of people attacking a worker at this point, trying to do his job.
People will get mad, but watching those belligerent white folks get their ass beat was highly satisfying. Yeah, I mean, they tried it in a small town, okay? I'll just say it like that. They tried that in a small town and see how far you make it down the road, okay? See how far you make it down the road. You don't make it down the road too far. These dudes that came to protect the security guard had hands for everybody. They had chairs. There was, Olympic swimming happening. Like, I've never seen such movement. I almost want to watch the original video first instead of the extended sequence because, I mean, this shit was awesome. Here, let's get started. So this is in Montgomery, Alabama. There's a riverboat ride happening.
Hey, there it is.
So that guy is a dock guy. He's like a security guard / dock worker. He tells these guys to move the fucking pontoon that they're in.
So that's how it starts. So that seems the most sensible thing to do, right? Hey, we need you to move the boat. There's a boat docking here. Doesn't seem that hard, does it?
No, that's not.
Bruh.
I feel like that should be like an easy thing. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Give us 2 seconds. We have something, or, whatever. But seriously.
All right.
They say, fuck no. I'm suspecting that's what they say. And they start just fucking jumping him. This moment is incredible because he pulls a Bobby Shmurda out of nowhere, which is such a wild and very anime move. I don't know why he did that, but he chose to do something truly crazy. He didn't just like toss his hat directly at them. He tossed it in the air like a smoke signal.
And look at that shit.
Like that went so far into the sky. And immediately this fucking clown takes advantage of the opening and launches into him with a fisticuff. Okay? But there's good control from the security guard who then whips him around a little bit, but he's still getting jumped. Then the other good old boys decide, we want a piece of that action too.
There it is. That's when...
And you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. What are your thoughts here?
This is disgusting. The fact that they all jumped him, that's worse. Like, they made the odds that 1 against the 6. That's crazy. That's stupid.
All right, we'll continue.
Dumbasses.
6 people are just beating the shit out of a dock worker in this situation, okay? It's kind of fucked up, but fear not, because that smoke signal worked so fucking well. I do not know how to describe it. What you are about to see is how well that shit worked. Let's roll the clip. So, there's a 5th lady coming in too. She's like, yeah, number 1. Boom!
Okay.
First guy comes in.
So someone's coming in to try to break up the scuffle.
And he's trying to break it apart a little bit. He's trying to pull the angry white thugs of the poor dock worker. Then you see this man from the corner just fucking swimming like he's Aquaman. Turns out he's 16 years old, by the way. I have never seen movement like this.
Some kid just jumped in, swam to go help. That's crazy. That in itself is like, whoa, okay.
Who the fuck sees the smoke signal, is on a boat, and goes, oh shit, I will be there no matter what, he said.
Exactly, right?
That's the OG dude. There's still like...
So he got away. He's trying to compose himself. I don't know, probably calling for the police at this point. But definitely wild. That's what, span of 5 minutes, maybe less.
No kidding. Maybe less. I don't know.
All right, let's continue.
That's crazy busy. Wow, like so much is happening.
Okay, let's continue. Not even over yet.
Like old white ladies trying to fucking get a piece. I don't know what's happening there.
Get out there, young buck!
Get out there, young buck. And all of a sudden, the tables turn.
So here it is. So as he'll probably explain, but there's the boat that's trying to dock right there.
Yeah, I see it right there. It's huge. It's compared to a pontoon.
That's right. The tables have turned dramatically. Now, the 6, 7, 8 white people feel a little outnumbered. By the way, I love this angle because it also shows you what these guys were doing. That is the fucking riverboat that's trying to dock versus this fucking pontoon.
That's it. This entire scuffle was because of this. Moving a pontoon for a boat. That's what all this was about.
Stupid as fuck.
That is refusing to let the riverboat dock. I love that angle because all of a sudden you recognize the situation. You recognize the entitlement. You recognize the caucasity, if you will, where this guy's like, hell no, I'm not going to move my boat. Like, that's fucking psychotic, dude. Do you not see the riverboat behind you, my friend? Do you not see what is happening?
Yeah!
Oh!
Woo! Woo! They scared! Look at them! They scared! Beat their ass!
Oh!
Woo!
More fighting.
Oh! Now, the cops are on scene,
there's a cop in
and
there.
what you will notice is, like, they were literally pointing their tasers at everybody.
That what you get!
There it is, the cop right there.
I like that the ladies are just beating on the other ladies. The dudes are beating on the other dudes. Obviously, in a lot of instances, you know, there's some crossover. Maybe some dudes are hitting some of the ladies. Some ladies are hitting some of the dudes. But, like, there's equal opportunity hands for everybody. But also, they absolutely fucking started this.
That what
True. I think that's just gonna be
you get! Oh!
more.
I love the pepper spray he's trying to deploy, but because the situation is so chaotic, he's just whirling it around. Look at this. He's just trying to spray whatever. He's spraying that shit like it's Abercrombie and Fitch, and he's like a 16-year-old employee just trying to make the store smell like the Abercrombie and Fitch cologne. What are you doing? What are you doing?
She whooping her ass!
Like, that lady did not even stop. She just is still wailing on the other one.
Ooh,
Oh, that
thrown
was
to
awesome
sea.
where they dumped one. Look at this. Look at right here.
She finna put her oh!
Loki kind of saved that lady. I don't know why she's like still trying to get up after that.
Ass up!
Okay. I think we get the gist of this. Give us a second, everyone.
That's crazy. It's absolutely absurd. The caucasity. Yeah, literally.
All right, give us 1 sec. So yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's wild. So what is your overall scope of just this whole what turned out to be? Look at that. Look, did you saw that?
I just absolutely flabbergasted. Like, this shit is still happening. Like, what the hell? He probably asked very nicely multiple times, wasn't being a dickhead about it, probably started getting frustrated towards the end, be like, hey, you know, this is nuts. You guys really, really do need to move. I have this big ass boat coming through. You need to move or that boat's gonna be gone. We're gonna kill it. I mean, you're docked illegally right at this point. You need to move now. And and the fact that they decided, oh, we're gonna team up against this guy, that was really bad. And then the fact that it became like almost a race thing, like instantaneously, like they should have realized, this doesn't look so good on my character. But I guess not when you're drunk and you feel like you have a privilege.
I think let's see here. Let me see if they have. Let me see what this plays.
The incident occurred between a co-captain of the Harrier II vessel and a private boat owner and his family.
Okay, this is
As the
the.
Harrier attempted to dock in its designated space,
I am currently playing
designated
the
reserved
Montgomery Police
due
Chief
to the gangway access
explaining to
as
the
well
people.
as the mooring requirements. The private boat was docked in its space, prohibiting safe docking of the Harriet.
Yeah, that we know. So he explained what was the original issue, the docking problem. So what are they getting charged with? I want to hear what they.
The captain of the Harriet remained away from the dock for nearly 40 to 45 minutes as he attempted.
So 40 to 45 minutes. That's how long the waiting for the big dock, for the big boat to wait for it to dock. 40 to 45 minutes. But I'm guessing that was like a business. Imagine if you're in that boat waiting for your, like, I need to get off, and you're stuck there waiting 40 to 45
I know,
minutes.
right? It sucks.
Like, okay, let's see what else.
Attempted to contact the operators of the private boat via PA system. They were only responded to with obscene gestures, curse words, and taunting.
So the boat tried to contact the people on the pontoon through the PA system, but they were just ignoring them and yelling profanities to the boat. So I'm guessing then he's going to explain where the dock worker came afterwards.
The co-captain was then picked up by a separate vessel and brought to the pier in an attempt to have a conversation with the private boat owners and or have those boats moved so that the Harriet could dock. A confrontation ensued between the co-captain and Mr. Pickett, the co-captain, being attacked by several members of the private boat.
So the from the sounds of it, it sounds like the guy who was getting attacked was the co-captain of the boat.
Oh, wow.
So he got off the boat, telling them, "Hey, move the boat. We need a dock." And then that's when he got assaulted.
Damn.
Several members of the Harriet II came to Mr. Pickett's defense, engaging in what we all have seen since on social media. 13 individuals were detained and brought to police headquarters for
So 13 people have been detained.
Questioning and interviews. Those interviews lasted several hours.
That lasted several. Makes
At
sense.
that time, all parties involved were released pending further investigation.
So everyone got released afterwards because now they're just waiting for investigation problems. So, let's see what else.
But were all given instructions on how to secure warrants on combatants. We have since consulted with and are continuing to work with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, our state police agency, the Montgomery's DA's office, and the local office of the FBI. This investigation is ongoing and more charges are likely. At this time, based on the way the statutes read and the way the laws are crafted, we were unable to present any inciting a riot or racially biased charges at this time.
So they, at the moment, they do not have the ability to charge anyone with inciting a riot or racial-based charges at the moment. It's a lot. A lot happened.
More has happened since that all took down. I thought I saw something that started already.
So this is from
board and detaining him and then charging him. I thought they started charging him.
This article is back from the 7th, so probably there's more updates and stuff like that. But from listening from this, it's like there's a lot. There's a lot of content. There are a lot of things they have to do. It's crazy. It's wild what happened down there. It's like it's one of those things you see like happening in movies and stuff like that. It's definitely just idiots causing a scene and then just people just jumping into it because people have had enough already and dealing all this. So it's like just why? Do you have
People are idiots and they have their egotistical. They're being assholes. Simple as that.
But yeah, I really don't have much more to say. It's just one of those things.
Just stupid. It's just stupid. This plain out stupidity, and I think they have the right to be there.
So yeah, it's when things like this, these commotions, these riots, and stuff fighting over some of what could have been the most avoidable things,
No, they could have simply just moved the boat and then we docked somewhere else apart on that dock. That dock looked like it was big, but that boat had to be at that particular point in time there.
And yeah, it's just there's not much more to say about this. Hopefully, if things work out there, people who get charged or should get charged do get charged, and those who don't shouldn't. But it's all up in the air until further notice.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about riots, let's talk about the one that happened in New York.
Okay, I have to find that article. Which one it is? Oh, that one. Never mind. Posted it too before you did. Haha.
I know.
I was aware of it.
You were aware about it. So what? Okay, before we read the article, did you read the article?
No, I did not.
So
because we like to keep a little bit of essence of surprise in there.
So what do you know about that? Do you know anything about that? Besides that,
all I know is I just heard that the Twitch started a riot somehow with something. I was like, oh crap, this is crazy.
So
we gotta spill this beans.
So this is where it's interesting. This is before we jump into that. This is where it's interesting, where it's like old media talking about new media, how much power new influencer people don't like that, but new faces have, how much power they have, how much actual influence they have. So because for the most part, what he originally was doing, he was holding up a meetup to give away PS5s, gaming computer laptops, and streaming stuff to his audience. So that was his original goal. And as we all saw, everyone was talking about it. It went bonkers. Now, let's see here. So, Twitch streamer arrested after, quote, inciting a riot of thousands in Manhattan. New York arrested an estimated 65 people during Friday's afternoon's chaos in Manhattan. Police did not say if the influencer will face any criminal charges. At the moment, there have been a couple things that have been updated. So there has been. We'll talk about that towards the end. But a famous video game influencer known for streaming on Twitch is in custody for giving. They don't even. There he is. Young sparked pandemonium in Manhattan's Union Square. The Friday afternoon event, advertised by Kai Cenat, one of the most popular streamers online. I would say he is one of the biggest streamers online. Well before he scheduled his 4 p.m. start time. So yeah, he told people, come to Union Square at 4 p.m. That's whenever it's going to happen. So people are already lining up there that morning. So it was already crazy. The crowd size eventually climbed up to a couple thousand. People are estimating between 7,000 to 10,000 people were there. It was literally another movie scene, basically, like zombie movie, just from the top view. And like I said, it got wild. You could see just the images of all the people there, because definitely Kai's audience is on the younger side, and on top of that, he's doing a giveaway with big items, and two, just some people just want to meet their favorite influencers for a meet and greet, and within that, you just get a bunch of rebellious like teenagers together. Things are we'll get
all that moodiness, all that hormones, just gonna create chaos.
and it did. That's what happened next. It's just things got out of hand. That's the next thing. It's just things got out of hand. Chaos. People were there's a moment where actually, let me see if I can find. So what are your thoughts while I find this? Just hearing all that.
It's crazy how many people actually showed up. I mean, yeah, it's crazy how much influence, but at the same time, it's like, I should have thought this a little through, just a little. I mean, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was poor planning, definitely. It was poor planning.
Definitely poor planning. He didn't he should have gotten like the city involved, some sort of like, because if he's already handing out this much expensive stuff, he should have an already expensive idea of how to handle this situation. Whether it be security guards, guardrails, the whole nine yards.
That was originally what everyone was saying, that's should have been the premise, because that's normally what you would normally do when bigger people like this do kind of these things. They have like companies that are able to work with to be able to just coordinate all this, because that's all it is. It's being coordinated, all this stuff. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna watch another video together. Gonna be again with Hassan. Give us a second, everyone. We are just watching Hassan today, it sounds like.
Twitch streamer Kai Cenat was supposed to do a meet and greet and a giveaway at Union Square. Guess what? It, of course, predictably went south because they're massively successful, massively popular content creators, and it turned into a riot. Breaking. Large crowd at Union Square spotted hurling objects, setting off fire extinguishers. Watch live coverage now.
Gotta zoom in with our camera there.
Look at that. That's
obscene.
That's a horror movie, isn't it? That's a zombie movie.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, can we have done that for like a benefit of good, like voting? I don't know, maybe something like that. Crazy.
And get a better look. You can see
what voting? No, I want my PS5, Liz. My PS5.
Bruh. Again, it's that grouping here. We'll start.
This is wild. This is crazy. Look at this mayhem, dude. This is insane, dude.
Not a single
fighting in the crowd. It's not a riot. It's a
yeah, it's crazy.
Rally? Nah, this ain't right. People getting jumped. Cars are getting broken into. Businesses are straight looted. All because Kai Cenat wanted publicity. Shaking my head. Okay, businesses are starting to get looted. What the? You know what this is? This is racist, okay? Straight up. Yeah, they're rowdy. They're rowdy teenagers. They're making it seem like this is an organized crime ring. The one time you see like a bunch of black teenagers around, you're like, oh my God, guys, businesses are being looted.
Okay. So what you're watching right now is when he went live. He's live right now. Say his live counter. So he's there. You can see there he is right there, and he's with his security. He's with security because
bodyguards. He bought his own bodyguards.
Oh yeah, but most top influencers have a security with them when doing these things. But it wasn't enough.
Bro, that is insane. I can't believe he's like diving into that crowd. What the fuck? What is happening?
And his stream went dark.
Mad. Did the cameraman die? What is going on? Let me tell you something, okay?
His camera went dark.
The bedlam and the chaos caused when it's like organized sport event and a celebration is never reacted to in a similar capacity when it's like black teenagers involved or black people involved in general. Oh, look at them swarming. Oh my God. Dude, he's gonna die. This is crazy. This is January 6th. This is crazy. Look at the size of this fucking crowd. This is actually...
Look at that.
Wow. Like a swarm of bees.
Very dangerous. Okay, I'm sorry. It's hard for me not to be a fucking...
my queen! Like the swarm of bees, going after the queen.
This is literally how crowd crush happens. This is so fucking scary. Yes. God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm 32 years old. On the one hand, I'm conflicted because like this is kind of sick. But on the other hand, you have to have like proper venue for something like this. That congestion is untenable. That is how crowd crush happens. That's terrifying.
That's what you were talking about earlier. It has to be right because we talked about some instances where crowd crushing like killed a couple people. It's like it can happen, and talking about young individuals like this, they're just gonna go. They're gonna go, and
I don't think about it because they don't have mental capacity. Teenagers don't have the full capacity for that kind of stuff. So, yes, they should have thought this damn through when he thought, oh, I'm inviting a bunch of teenagers. I should probably have more crowd control.
I will send you to Jesus.
I hope nothing bad happens. I do hope that no one dies. Holy fuck. Holy moly. Right now, there's two different things that they need to do. One,
So yeah, so he's probably watching this live and stuff. So they did send in, I think they did send in the SWAT team and stuff like that.
Forgot to charge it. Like I said, this week was kind of crazy.
But anyway, yeah, it's wild. It is. It's they had the SWAT. They had I think they had over 100 of the New York's best out there, quote best, because some stuff.
That's obscene.
One, they need.
Because some of the best is not the best because it's the police. I've heard incidents where like one police officer like shoved a bystander into the window of a car. It was a bystander. Because it's hard to pick out who are just people walking compared to who are there.
Wow.
To stop additional people from gathering into the crowd and making the crowd larger. Two, they need to start pulling slowly but surely. You can't do this with like tear gas. You can't do this with like actual fucking anti-riot measures, because then that chaos will actually make the crowd crush happen. It will make it way more likely. So you have to slowly but surely start pulling people from the outsides and just like open it up as best as possible. I feel conflicted because a Twitch streamer having this level of power and prominence is crazy. Why is this on hating on Kai? I'm not. If anything, people are going to get mad at me for being too nice about the situation, because like this could be technically very troublesome. I'm not hating on him at all. I'm literally in the middle of like fucking saying like it's wild that he has this level of influence. So much.
What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with him. It's like, how do you have so much amazing influence? Again, he should have realized. I mean, how many people will watch him or stream him? I mean, he should have really thought this through about crowd control, lines, barriers, you name it. Everything should have been applied to the situation. And he did not take the right route of dealing with the situation at this price. He should have had a line of, he should have had some sort of like organization to this. The fact that he did not and erupted to this chaos, that is not great. I mean, that inhibited everybody. I mean, normal, everyday people, workers, businesses, you name it. The whole 9 yards. Even the undertown knows they were actually avoiding Union Station because of everything.
Let's continue. Let's see. Does he have anything more to say?
So that it like got out of control, even though he had good intentions. I think we are now officially in an era where like, if you're a Twitch streamer, if you're a live streamer that is like large enough, you have to do this in a professional way. I think like Kai being black and his audience being like black as well also will factor into the way that the media covers this. You know what I mean? Because people will immediately be like, oh, this is gang activity. Like when the Nelk Boys does something like this, or when Mr. Beast does something like this,
and we saw those were big events. There was with the Mr. Beast, you could see some organization.
Yeah.
It gets out of control. They're white. Their audiences are white. So it's like, oh, these are kids that are being crazy. I mean, fucking influencers. Who gives a shit? They're crazy. They should stop that, right? People will be critical of it, but they will not be critical of it in the same way that they're going to be critical of this. Because we've seen stuff like this happen time and time again. But the reality is that the coverage on it is always going to be teens are excited to see their creator, which is true. That is what's going on. And, you know, maybe there will be some legal repercussions, but the way that this will be received by a broader audience will absolutely be seen from the lens of white supremacy. They're going to be like, black agitators, look at what they're doing to cops. Like, you're going to see Fox News coverage on this shit going crazy. I can see Donald Trump talking about this.
So yeah, like there's like, it's been a couple days now. He had released a statement. We'll look at the statement. And yeah, the media has, like I said, this is where old media is now talking about new up and coming stars, and some of them don't understand. Some people don't understand it. It's hard to. I barely understand it. I get the gist of it. Just because I consume some of the content, some of the news that comes from the new medium, because we talk about it, so I have to at least stay in tune with some of the stuff that happens. So, what, in your opinion, what are your thoughts of this situation? Because I have another question after this, things like that.
It's overwhelming. That is for sure. Like I said, he should have had a better way of handling the situation, and the fact that he didn't, that was.
So here's my question.
Obviously disastrous.
So here's my question: should he be charged with anything?
Yeah.
What?
For probably inciting the riot. I mean, basically, he didn't have any, like, if he had it more organized, he probably wouldn't have such a problem. This wouldn't have been so blown out of proportion. If he had done it the right avenues, we wouldn't have been in this situation. But here we are in the wrong situation, and he did not plan for this. What did he expect? I guess that's the question. So there's got to be repercussions. If you create this, environment, you're going to have a chaotic environment. He created chaos, essentially. He didn't create anything well.
Okay, so let's see what Kai's statement was, because he has been charged, yes.
Very good.
So give us a second, everyone.
Kai released a video regarding New York incident.
We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching Asmongold.
Bro, he's got this fucking paper.
There it is. Union Square chaos. So let's see what Kai had to say.
He's gonna get this shit framed. Oh my god. He streamed it. Yep, there it is.
The news is watching. There's a lot of media in here right now. There's a lot of boomers in here right now. There's everybody in here right now, okay? Listen to me, okay? First of all, I want to go ahead and say I'm still taking this whole thing in right now, chat. Bro, this is f***ing insane, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Listen,
14 months play.
I like how he's like, yo, this shit is insane. There's a lot of people watching, a lot of old people here. Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, definitely everyone's eyes are on him right now because of this incident. We're on him right now. But we'll see what he has to say. But yeah, it's everyone's definitely watching. People who normally wouldn't be watching him are watching him. So we'll see.
For those who think this is about to be a quick stream, bro, I mean, for those who think this is about to be a long stream, it's not about to be a long stream. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm here to talk a little bit, say what I gotta say, and then I'm out of here, okay? Listen to me, bro. First thing, oh my gosh, bro, this is a lot, bro. It's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of people right here. Hold on, let me turn my view counter off right now.
You know he's like so stressed because he's like worried. You know they talked him through saying it a certain way.
Yeah, probably his lawyers had like, hey, this is the statement you need to say to the best of your ability. Because yeah, they're
put it in your own words, so it sounds like it came from you.
And he's thinking, I'm gonna fuck this up. Oh, I'm gonna fuck this. This is, oh god. Oh god.
It's tough.
I am not, you know what I'm saying? Let me turn that off real quick. Listen, chat, we're not even about to drag this whole, we're not even about to do too much talking. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna be as serious as possible, and I'm gonna be as mature as possible when it comes to this, okay? Everybody, please listen to me while I'm talking. Like,
all right.
I'm not gonna die. I like his hat. I actually like his hat. I don't know why. I like his hat.
Please listen to
That's
me.
what it just gets me.
Who's
here we go.
For the first time, whatever it is, listen to me what I have to say and stuff like that. Okay, first things first. Y'all already know. Y'all already seen everything. Okay, it's on international news. This shit took a goddamn, bro. This shit is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say what I gotta say real quick.
Yeah, everyone.
Get to the point. Get to the point. You keep saying that.
It's hard. He has to have his statement properly. Okay.
All right, chat. Being from New York,
yeah,
it has literally always been, ever since I started everything like this, bro. It has been my dream to want to give back to the community that made me who I am, bro. That's always been my whole, like, you know, I feel like everybody can, you know.
If I was Kai, you know what I would do?
Okay, so before Asmund says something, so that those are good intentions. You want to give back to the community that brought you up. That is perfectly understandable. I get it. You wanna support the place you grew up with or what helped you, things like that. That makes perfect sense. Let's see what Asmund has to say.
I would go on and take literally zero accountability. I would take no accountability whatsoever for what happened, and here is why. Because if you take accountability for it, it can be used against you in civil court cases if people sue you if the destruction of property happened to their fucking car.
That's not wrong, because I think some of the videos we did,
right.
We didn't. Yeah, what we missed a little bit is that some of the after he kind of got away because after Kai and his group were escorted away from the cops and stuff, there were still people around. People were jumping on cars, destroying stuff, continuing being rowdy and everything, just destroying property. Definitely, it can be used against him. Where at this point, what part should be blamed on him compared to what not, right? There's something for sure like he should be at fault for, but there's something like it's not his fault. There's definitely things like he did not tell people to go destroy cars.
Yeah, he didn't. He just did not. You know, he probably didn't even and what's the word I want to use? Did not instill the idea.
Exactly. Let's continue.
I would take no fucking accountability for this shit. I would be like, guys, yo, what the fuck happened? Yeah. What were y'all thinking? Oh my God. Thank God we had the NYPD. I mean, they didn't have it together at the beginning, so the police kind of messed us up. But like, you know, towards the end, they got their shit together. And so like W's in chat for the NYPD, L's in chat for those crazy assholes. Like, I don't even know who they are. And like, anyway, boys, like, that's another part of my life. Like, let's leave that behind. Hearts in chat for Fox News. Thank you guys. And that's it. You know, not my fans. Yeah, that's 100% what I would fucking do.
Because definitely there's probably were some people there just to kind of be the bad actors. You never know. Some people just want to create a little chaos.
Yep.
Because at that point, like, some people are just like that much of an asshole. We just saw it with the Alabama stuff. People just want to get crazy.
I would completely deny everything.
Whoever is in a big position could agree that wherever you come from, you want to give back to your community.
True.
You want to do nice things.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? But after Friday, bro, I've come to realize the amount of not only power but influence that I have on people. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, why are you saying this? Oh my God. Oh my God, it makes it easier for them to fucking convict you. What are you doing? You should not. I would not have said this. I would not have said. This is a self-report. What are you doing? Ooh, I'm so worried now. Somebody gonna use this shit against him? Yes. Oh, fuck. The worst part, if he admits fault, it makes the prosecutor's case that much easier to convict him. How many of y'all have heard that you should never say sorry after an accident? Because then it can be used as if it was your fault.
Yeah, I've heard that. You should never say that.
That's why you keep trying to tell me to just quit saying that word.
Yeah. There's been a few times where I've been like fender bendered, and they have said sorry, so they take most of the fault for everything. So I learned this early on. Never say that, because like if it's my fault, I won't still say it, but I'm like, okay, we'll fill out paperwork. It's always been for me, any incident, get as far as car incidents, insurance, ID, and report. That's it. And then if anything's said between the parties, like me or anyone, or we've been in accidents where I was in the car, just record it and everything, just to have any things like that. but I have never said sorry because it's an admission of fault at that point.
An admission of guilt. You ever hear that? Oh, fuck. Was Bruce Rivers a self-snitch? Yeah.
Realize that, bro, and I'm saying that to say this. I am beyond, bro, disappointed. Beyond disappointed in anybody who became destructive that day, bro.
They were not even your fans, probably. They're just people there just for the fucking, just to fuck around.
100%, bro. It's
apple.
not cool, man. None of that is cool, bro. You feel what I'm saying? After the things that I seen, I'm beyond disappointed in the things that went on Friday. And I want people to know that none of that was my intention.
There we go. It wasn't his intention. So he probably had the idea in his head where he was going to have 5 to 1,000 people showing up because he mentioned that earlier the day before. That's what he thought was going to happen. His buddy told him, no, it's going to be probably more. And he was going to be giving away stuff. Like, those are some really good intentions. That just got way out of control. And real fast.
You feel what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't your fault either, bro. You didn't do this. You didn't even know it was going to happen.
For this whole thing, and none of that was my intentions, bro. Not only that, but I don't condone any of the things that went on.
Yeah, he's reading it. Yeah. This is a
that day. None of that is cool. I'm seeing random videos of people getting sturdy on people's cars.
Oh yeah.
And I'm asking myself while I'm watching the video, why?
They weren't getting sturdy. They were just jumping.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm over here like, why? Like, when we do things like this.
Here's the thing: is like I don't know why because there's like 2 videos of these kids dancing on cars, jumping them to quote break them on purpose, and everyone's recording them. I don't know why they thought that was a smart idea because you're being recorded. You are going to be charged for destroying someone's vehicle. Like, why do that? Just to look cool for 5 seconds.
You feel what I'm saying? When we do things like this, it not only needs to be safe, but it needs to be fun. Like, anything we do like this has to be safe and fun. We can't be just one.
People complain about that. Damn, 9, really? Oh fuck. Oh fuck, that's so good. Wow.
Around and destroying this and destroying that, and I want people to understand, like, you feel me? I done seen a lot of things with the news, with the media, with everybody that's just discovering me. I want y'all to know, like, none of that is how I wanted any of this to go, bro. I had straight good intentions, and I didn't think it was gonna be what it was.
Of course not.
It's crazy. You feel what I'm saying? And I also, like, I spoke to myself, bro. I've also asked myself. I said, yo, I'm not gonna lie.
That shit's fucking
Kai,
hard.
you feel what I'm saying? Next time you want to do any of these things like this, you need to hit up the right people, make the right calls, okay? I need to be able to hit up the right people, make the right calls, and do it the correct way. Because as a whole, bro, we all have to do it. We all have to do better.
Exactly. He basically learned his lesson from all this.
Yeah, he did.
He got tons of publicity from this. On top of that, you know, everyone knows who he is at the moment. Oh shit, I didn't even look his sub count either. Damn. But
as a whole, bro, I'm gonna keep it.
Bro, not you. Like, you didn't do nothing wrong. Like, it's just crazy how the NYPD wasn't there on the spot, ready. Like, bro, like, isn't it crazy how, like, bro, what, like, how much do we pay them and they're not even there? What? Dude. Like, they're supposed to be the police protecting us. And where were they? What happened? Bro, he should have had me do this.
Keep it a stack, bro. We all, from the citizens of New York to the police, everything got to be treated with equal respect, bro. You feel what I'm saying, bro? And it's like, bro, that whole thing was just. I seen. Are you out of your mind? everything how it was after and stuff like that, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. We all have to do better.
Damn.
And I'm finding ways. If I ever want to do something like this in the future, I gotta make the right calls, gotta do the right things. And also, bro, you feel me? Once again, I can't stress this enough, bro. It was not my intention.
And I think that's how it goes for the most part. Here, give us a second, everybody. So yeah, so he's definitely learned from his lessons. He's being charged with 2 counts of inciting a riot and unlawful gathering, something like that. But yeah, it's like imagine if you were getting unlawful gathering for having a birthday party in the park.
Oh, that's happened before. Don't forget that.
It has. It's just so dumb. But definitely, I think once it gets a little too rowdy, that's when I'm like, okay, guys, you gotta stop. But yeah. So, what are your thoughts after all this?
I hope he really truly did understand his lessons and his reach. Again, I think he should have been a lot smarter. Even if it was 5,000 people, he supposedly thought it was going to be there. 500,000. He should have just still had something in place. He should have known better. Oh.
So we'll see. The story's going to continue. It's wild. It definitely it opened light to Twitch a little bit more because it's been in the public every once in a while, but this one for sure just opened up a new market for them. It was a huge advertisement for them at this point. It got Kai more people to watch who he is, and we'll see how it turns out. Because it's not actually, what is New York's the cost of setting a right in?
I don't know.
New York charge. Violence. What are they? Okay, they're every time I type that, it's just talking about Kai right now. What are
Of course.
Sentence? Is that what I'm looking at? Sentence. Okay, so here it is. First degree writing defined as tumultuous or violent content that means that the caused public alarm to result in injury or property damage is punishable by up to 4 years in prison and $5,000 fined in New York, while inciting a riot carries 1 year in prison sentence and a fine of $1,000.
Oh.
So we'll see.
We got two cases of it, so $2,000, right?
2 years and $2,000. But here's the thing: it's different. It's different. It's different for people in his range because he has money, and we know the law is different for people who has money. Because
agreed.
So it's he's probably not gonna get 2 years in jail or even a year in jail. Probably just gonna have a large fine.
Probation,
stuff like that. Yeah, he's not going to jail. That's a definite. I'll be surprised if he does. Like, he's not going to jail. But it's a wild story. It's once again one of the chances when people of influence have this much ability, because they do. Because look at some of the other people who have that much. Like recently, like the Taylor Swift concerts, she's wildly popular. Everyone knows about her. Her audience actually during one of her shows, during one of their concerts, caused a small reading on the earthquake monitor in the area. That's how much passion they have.
Wow.
Man, those Swifties be strong. If any of our audience members are Swifties, more power to you. But yeah, people have a lot of influence, and depending on how it's done, it can be done for good, or bad, or even just some unfortunate incidents like what happened to Kai, because it started as that sounds nice, he's giving away stuff, to way out of control really fast. It went from 0 to 100, like not even 0 to 10, 0 to 100 in moments. But yeah, we'll see what more it comes out of it and go from there. Do you have any other thoughts, Liz, as far as the Kai stuff?
Nope. Do better, son. Do better.
All right then. I think that's gonna be it. So everyone, those are our final moments. Like I said, if you want to help support us, go to merch.tyrantdominus.com to grab something to help support us. If not, just follow us on any of our social medias to keep an eye on when the new episodes are out. Now that TikTok has the ability to now showcase our episodes, go ahead there. Or word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best way to let people know about the show, to know some of the crazy things that are happening in the world that you probably would not have known is happening. Or like some stuff is stupid stuff that just happens. But yeah, thanks again for listening, for watching. Until next time, see ya.